All right, New York Jet fans, we got some news breaking as of 4 hours ago. So, our beloved owner, Woody Johnson, was at the league meetings like all of the other fat cat owners, those bums. And they're having some meetings to talk about this and that and how they're going to ruin the sport even more and how they're going to ruin the kickoff and onside kick and all the things they're going to ruin because all they do is ruin things. But But anyways, he had some comments. People surrounded him. They knew he was going to be there, so they sent all of the media swarm. All of the media jackals were there to attack him, and they got the headlines that they wanted out of him. That's for sure. And so, what did he actually say? Well, he threw our quarterback under the bus, but you can't really argue too much with that. I'm just trying to find the exact quote. This is the big quote, Woody Johnson quote. Well, it looks like he's turning around parts of it, talking about Aaron Glenn. They asked him, are you going to stick with Aaron Glenn? How are your feelings about Aaron Glenn? And then he said, well, it looks like he's turning around parts of it. It's hard when you have a quarterback with the rating that he's got. I mean, he has ability, but something just is not jiving. But if you look at any head coach of a quarterback like that, you're going to see similar results if you were across the league. So basically, sticking up for Aaron Glenn, which is what I told you guys. Glenn, Woody loves this guy. You could tell. I could tell from afar he did. And now you're seeing him, verify that. But then also throwing Justin Fields under the bus. And then then another time, I guess he said, if we could just complete a pass, it would look good. We got to complete some passes. You got to convince them you can do something. Otherwise, it's hard to have a game you can win, which is all true. Nothing Woody said was untrue. It's true. The quarterback has looked very bad and has had only one good game. That was the first game all season. So nothing he said was untrue. But of course, the media is going to over-exaggerate this, and this is why I keep talking about what is the media strategy of the New York Jets. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, an organization that has offshoots like the MetLife Stadium is a separate business, but of course it ties into the Jets and the Giants and all that. But what is the media strategy? What is Eric Gelfand telling these people and advising them? Because every time you do speak with the media, it should be looked at as an opportunity to build on the brand and an opportunity to generate revenues. For example, some of the things Woody said were great. He talked about the fans being the best part of the Jets and these fans bleed green and all this. Those were good quotes. But nobody tells Woody, and maybe they do tell him and he doesn't listen. But I don't think they tell him, don't say anything about the quarterback. Don't say anything about or any player. It's not your place as the owner to talk in the media about our players. It's not going to go over well no matter what you say and no matter how you shade it, no matter how much context you give it. They are the media jackals. They do what they do. You have to risk manage the media when you're in this position of Woody. And it doesn't seem like we have a strategic plan for how to handle these media jackoffs. You know how they're going to act. Samini, Hughes, Rosenblatt, Rossini. It doesn't matter who they are. They're all going to do the same things because they work for gigantic media organizations that have objectives of their own that they're going to use. They're going to put Woody Johnson in the worst possible light that can sell newspapers, websites, everything. That's what they do. And then you're going to start seeing the headlines. Woody slams Justin Fields. Woody blasts Justin Fields. Woody throws Justin Fields on the ground and then pisses on him and shits on him and all this. It's just what they do. They take anything that anybody who's a negative, and in the media, Woody Johnson is considered a negative because he is, and they know that, and they know they can shit all over him, and everybody will be like, yeah! And Jet fans will click on that in 2 seconds. So anything that you say, they're going to put in the absolute worst light possible. That's just what they do. Even if they give him, so in these initial reports, they reported exactly what he said. Right? And you say, well, that's pretty fair. I mean, they're just reporting what he said. Okay. But then later, they're going to put that in a headline that says, Woody Johnson slams, blasts, kills, cremates Justin Fields. And I just think we need a strategy here. If anybody can get to Eric Gelfand, please have him come up with a strategy, a risk management strategy for the media. For Woody Johnson, for Aaron Glenn, for the coaches who talk to the media, for the players. Everybody should understand what the media does. You can't change that. Then, given that, how should we approach them, given that also they have an influence on the fan base? And the fan base is your customers. So it's really like customer management, if you think about it. And anything he does, they're going to report that's in any way negative. They're going to report on it. Rich Cimini has another tweet. Woody Johnson is wearing a Crystal Palace cap, not his usual Jets cap. Why do you think he reported that? It's to piss you off, Jet fan. That's why he reported it. Does it really matter what kind of cap he's wearing? Crystal Palace is one of the 4 main businesses that he's into now. Does that really matter? Oh, no, he's not wearing a Jets cap. Oh, my goodness. But Dick Chimney has to just throw that in there because he knows it's going to piss you off as a Jet fan. So again, why is Woody wearing that hat? He should probably wear a Jet hat. Knowing what scumbags these people are. They make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars making you upset. That's what they do. But he did say that he supports Aaron Glenn. And that's as I told you. So as some of the people on this platform called YouTube were going, we gotta fire Glenn and we gotta do this and do that. And they were, of course, doing that for clickbait because, as we all know, Joe Beningo basically established the clickbait protocol of how to get Jet fans to click, 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 click. I want to watch that. And that's, you just have a rant. You put it right in the title, rant. I'm ranting now. You going to watch me ranting. You know, they just put it right in there. And they rant and they rave, and this is the worst, and I can't believe it, and this is boop. And you see how they get you? So it's not just the mainstream media. It's the people on YouTube. It's the people on Twitter. It's everybody. This is called like outrage culture, where everything that gets done fits into what I call a narrative flow, and it's very difficult to alter or change the narrative flow. One narrative flow, Woody Johnson's an asshole, right? That's a true narrative flow. So because of that, you feed into it by anything he says, you just make it as negative as possible because there's already a narrative flow. It's like lava flowing down from a volcano. And it's very hard to stop. Think about lava flowing, right? It's very hard to stop that flow. Well, there's absolutely no chance anybody's ever going to think Woody Johnson's a great human being. Because why? Because he's not. And so that being the case, that's already been established. And so therefore, anything he says then will be put in the most negative light possible using the most catastrophic language possible in order to get people to click it. See, I knew it, that Woody. Woody's such a dick. Sell the team, Woody. Right. You see how it works? It's amazing. And that's why, you know, the Jets in particular need a strategy. Gelfand, wake up, Eric. Because that being the case, you're not going to change any of that. You can't. It's impossible. So all you can do is figure out what's the type of things you should say. What are the type of things you shouldn't say? For example, praising the fans. Yes, say that all day long. That's beautiful. Nobody can find any fault with that. Impossible. Because it's true and because there's no way to really spin that negative. If the owner comes out and says, I love the fans support us, the fans are the best, we do everything we do is for the fans, we're trying all we can to win. You know, it's not working out right now, we understand. But believe me, every day we wake up thinking about this great fan base that bleeds green and that, you know, and we do everything we can for them. And I understand the results aren't there right now, but trust me, we're trying our best. You know, we're going to get this thing straightened out, and we're doing everything in our power to do so for the fans. It's for them. We have this team for them. It's not really my team. It's really the fans' team, if you think about it, Woody should say. Right? Things like that, Gelfand, wake up. That you need to be explaining to people this is how you need to be treating this. It just annoys me that these people just go off half cocked and they think, well, I'll just say this and that. You're not going to get a fair shake in the media. It's already been established. Your reputation's already in tatters. There's nothing you can do once your narrative flow is established. Very hard to take that back. You see this all the time in sports with people who are, for example, generational talents. The most generational talent in football ever rated in the last 25 years was Trevor Lawrence, and number two was Justin Fields. How did that work out for those two? They played in the NFL. Were they generational? No. But once that narrative flow started going, it was very hard to get a lot of people out of it. I mean, it's taken a lot of bad play, especially from Fields. Lawrence had been better, but to get people out of that. So very, very difficult. And with people like owners, there's no such thing as like stats that you can pull up and stuff like that, right? So now, of course, they're going to say, oh, now Aaron Glenn is going to have to manage the fallout of this. How does Fields feel about the words of the owner and other people in the locker room for slamming him? See? And it just goes on and on and on. You never pick a fight with people who buy ink by the barrel. And all we do is pick fights. And pick fights means choose your words improperly. Pick on a player or two. You don't have to do that. It's unforced errors. So another day, another faux pas in the media for the New York Jets. It just goes on and on and on and on. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Why not subscribe to the channel? And consider joining the Inner Circle. Click the little join button down below. You can join this channel by clicking the join button. You see how it works? And we got prices for every budget. $2.99, $4.99, $9.99, well, however you like to support, we would appreciate it. And with that being said, I'll see you next time.